The Unfolding Wings, Xavier's Journey to Transformation. Once upon a time, in the lush emerald depths of an ancient forest, nestled snugly in the heart of a leaf, slumbered a caterpillar. This little creature, known by the name Xavier, was not any ordinary caterpillar but one destined for an extraordinary journey. The ripples of its journey would echo throughout the forest, touching the lives of all that lived within it. Xavier had no inkling of this epic tale waiting to unfurl, much less the beautiful transformation waiting at the journey's end. Xavier's life was simple and full of verdant beauty. Every morning, the world would wake up to the whispering wind, and every evening, Xavier would curl up to sleep, lulled by the melodious lullabies of the night. Life was unhurried and serene. Until one day, the winds changed. On this day, the winds whispered a prophecy to Xavier. They spoke of a remarkable journey that would lead to a transformation beyond imagination. Xavier, confused but intrigued, felt a strange pull towards destiny. The call to adventure was powerful, and a sense of duty gripped Xavier's tiny heart. And so, the journey began. Xavier wriggled its way out of the comfort of its leaf, stepping into the world outside for the first time. With the prophecy echoing in its heart, Xavier crawled towards the first challenge, the towering expanse of a tree. The tree, known as Zephyrus, was the oldest and wisest in the forest. Reaching the bottom of Zephyrus, Xavier felt an intimidating wave of uncertainty. The towering bark, the vast expanse, it was unlike anything the caterpillar had ever seen. However, with a newfound resolve, Xavier started the slow and laborious climb. The rough bark grazed against the caterpillar's skin, each crevice an obstacle. However, Xavier persevered, focusing on the immediate path and the whispers of encouragement from the winds. After what seemed like an eternity, Xavier reached the apex, feeling a sense of achievement that it never knew existed. Once on the top, Xavier was greeted by Penelope, the forest's most enchanting peacock. Xavier had never seen such a colorful creature. Penelope was arrogant and considered every other creature inferior. She issued Xavier a challenge: to continue your journey, you must pass through the labyrinth of the Tangled Thorns. If you can emerge without a scratch, you will have proved your worth. Penelope guided Xavier to the edge of the forest, where the Tangled Thorns labyrinth lay, a gnarled mess of sharp thorns and tricky paths. With a gulp, Xavier entered the maze, the thorns gleaming menacingly. Every turn seemed identical, and the sharp thorns threatened to injure Xavier. Moving with meticulous care, it memorized each turn, marking its path with a silken thread from its body. There were times when Xavier almost gave up, its strength dwindling. But the thought of the prophecy and the transformation kept the tiny creature going. After countless hours of navigation and close encounters with the thorns, Xavier emerged out of the labyrinth, much to Penelope's surprise, unscathed. With newfound respect, Penelope guided Xavier to the third and final challenge. This was the Crystal Chasm, a beautiful yet deadly gorge filled with mesmerizing crystals. These crystals, named Igneous crystals, were known for their enchanting allure and lethal sharpness. The challenge was to cross the chasm without succumbing to the charm of the crystals or getting cut by them. With a determined glint in its eyes, Xavier started the perilous journey across the Crystal Chasm. The crystals glowed invitingly, their hypnotic hum almost pulling Xavier towards them. Yet, the caterpillar remembered the sharpness that lay behind their beguiling beauty and steadfastly began to weave a silken bridge with threads from its body. The task was arduous and the path filled with danger. Each moment demanded unwavering concentration. A single slip of attention, a minuscule mistake, could lead to a fatal encounter with the deadly igneous crystals. However, Xavier inched forward, one tiny step at a time, continuously spinning the silken thread, joining one end to another, slowly but surely creating a pathway across the chasm. On the precipice of the chasm's end, Xavier felt a sudden strong pull from a particularly radiant crystal. Its hypnotic hum was overwhelming, threatening to pull Xavier off the safety of its silken bridge. Just as Xavier was about to lose balance, a sudden gush of wind, the same wind that whispered the prophecy, swooshed down the chasm, breaking the crystal's influence. Xavier, with a final push of effort, made it across the crystal chasm, standing on the other side of the chasm, victorious and proud. With this triumph, the winds whispered once more, congratulating Xavier on completing the journey. As promised, a change began to overtake Xavier. Cocooning itself in the final threads of its own silk, Xavier felt a gentle warmth enveloping its body, a lulling rhythm coaxing it to sleep. Days turned into nights and nights into days until one sunny morning, the cocoon trembled, the once tough exterior breaking apart. From the shattered remains of the cocoon emerged a creature of absolute beauty. Colors more vibrant than Penelope's plume, wings more magnificent than any leaf in the forest. Xavier was no more a caterpillar. The transformation was complete. Xavier was now a resplendent butterfly. The winds carried the news of Xavier's transformation throughout the forest, filling every creature with awe and admiration. Xavier, now soaring above the treetops, reveled in the freedom of flight, the joy of achievement, and the wonder of change. Every creature in the forest learned from Xavier's journey. The trials taught them the value of determination, and Xavier's transformation revealed the magic of change. The forest was not the same anymore. It was a place where every creature, small or big, understood that a journey undertaken with courage and perseverance held the promise of unimaginable transformations.